Hello everyone, I just want to wait for everyone to come live. So just make sure that I'm live. Zay. Hey, and to join you as a guest, Megs. Nice to see you, Megs. Hope you're doing well. What's happening in your life? Just want to make sure I'm live on all my social media channels. And before we're going to kick off in this session, so one of your friends is live. Invite them to invite together. Okay. Let's see if he's gonna come. Okay. So I'm live there, live on all social media. We're about to kick off and start at 8:19 in this evening. I'm gonna be live on TikTok. Guys, if you are on TikTok, join me. Otherwise, I'm going to be on YouTube, LinkedIn, all my social media at the same time. Thank you for being here. Megs, let me know where you're from, Megs. I just want to see, you look familiar for me. DMs will not be answered. Good. That's how it should be. Okay. The Instagram is live. Okay. So, ladies and gentlemen, Dion is here. And just to kick you guys going, I am Cobus Visser, the Viking. I stand before the fire where lies are burned and truth are forged. Here we do not bow to comfort, but we rise in courage. We do not whisper, but we roar. Each word is a strike of the hammer, each opinion a spark on the anvil. This is not for the faint of heart. This is for those who dare. Whatever it takes, the fire begins now. So, welcome to everyone that's here. And it's always good to see my friends that are live. So, let me know in the chat box where you're from. Those on Instagram, welcome, welcome. We're going to have a short discussion this evening. A few people has joined, and some look tired. Hey, Dion is joining me. Dion, now what made you decide to accept my invite tonight?
Well, you said one. Can you hear me?
I can hear you. You're loud and clear.
Your timing couldn't have been better because I was off the phone for a while. And yeah, I put it on about 10 minutes ago, and there comes my vibrate through saying, Cobus invited you. Hello, Cobus.
Yes, Buddha. So tell me, what's been happening in your life, Dion? So, guys, so you don't know before Dion speaks, Dion is South Africa's #1 coach. He has a training school called Action Factory that is now going global. That teaches people to be an NLP life coach, coaches, and really builds a legacy of transforming and changing people. So it's really awesome to have you here, Dion. Dion, if I had to ask you a question, and you
Yes.
look at just back to this morning when you woke up, one thing that happened to you today that you were like you wanted to share with someone but nobody was around, and now's your opportunity to say like, damn, this is what happened. Now is the opportunity to share.
It's an easy one. So, I don't know if you know this. I think you do. So, I've got this growth inside of my brain that sometimes activates and it puts me in a bit of a fake form of Parkinson's state. And that hit me today at one stage. And I was lying down, and I've got a new puppy. She's about 2 months old now. Mila. Absolute adorable little Boston Terrier. And while I was not feeling too great, she literally climbed on top of my face, like only a puppy can, and she started washing me. And I experienced a sense of absolute unconditional love. And just realized, we take so many things for granted. And sometimes just a puppy licking you, because the puppy knew I was not feeling too great. And all she did was just give me love, give me her time, and just unconditional. And what came to my mind was Jesus washing the feet of his disciples. And that humility, and sometimes we just miss the simple things like a puppy's love. And so yeah, there was no one around. I couldn't share it with someone. I did, So what a great opportunity. Sometimes we think it's the big things in life. I know you climb Kilimanjaro. We think it's the Kilimanjaros of our world that makes us feel fantastic. It's not. It's sometimes just a puppy licking your face.
Yes.
Simple as that. Straightforward as that. Easy as that.
It's that small things that we take it for granted. I saw a video this morning. It's it's a famous scientist that talked about how they worked out how dogs, for every 7 days for every day we live, they've lived 7 days type of thing. For every year it's 7 years. And he says we need to, as human beings, have the mindset of being like a dog, that every time they see you, they're happy. You could just walk out, come back again, and it's like the first time they've seen you. But you just went out and came back, and they were with the same excitement, the same happiness. And he said it's the same thing as humans would live 90 years. A dog, worst, best, probably 10 to 15 years, right? So they know every second counts to be with you. And I think that's when you spoke about the dog now as well, that's what reminds me of, life is precious, and we have to really enjoy those few seconds with them. And, so thank you for reminding me on that.
We always look for the big, 2 weeks ago, 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago, I stood and I had the privilege to speak in front of an audience of between 15 and 30,000 people. Which I've never seen an audience that size, let alone have to talk in front of them.
Yes, you must send me photos, brother. You must send me photos. I can imagine that's an experience.
I didn't take any photos myself while I was there, but the organizers of the whole conference took photos and videos and everything else. So I'm waiting to get my copies. But, that's a highlight. But if you really ask me what's the most important thing, I think, is the small things. It's like seeing a flower bloom, seeing someone you love reply with a beautiful message. Simple things in life that we take for granted that we miss. I think we're living in a time where we've become so, and I write a lot about this, where we become so addicted to fake and putting our best foot forward. When we want to take a selfie, we take 20 photos because we want the most authentic selfie to be projected. What are we missing? And I think we need to simmer down and start appreciating the smaller things, quite honestly.
100%. And I think that's it, phones. And someone said it the other day, it's the world is calling for people to be authentic and real. And authenticity is so very important. And just talking about it, and I just invested myself into something called a lookie. A lookie.
What is that?
It's a thing that you put on your shirt, and it actually records your day and your videos, so that you don't have to jump on your phone to try to take a photo and video of anything that you see in front of you. So it sort of records your day, audio or videos. So I've just received it, so I'm still testing it out. So yeah.
Okay, hold on. My brain just went, okay. Do you switch it off when you go to the bathroom at least?
I haven't thought about that. That's a good question.
I'm sure, because that's probably made in China. You don't know who's got access to that imaging. So
it gets uploaded to the cloud, by the way. So yes, anyone can have.
No, that is just stop. Okay, I shall not go onto the dark web tonight and search.
And the thing is, it creates a video vlog of your day. So it's interesting you say. I should take it off when I go to the bathroom, by the way. So it's good that you remind me.
You don't know what some data checker in China is going to experience.
They might either get a shock or be surprised.
This is terrible. Let me walk over fire.
Yeah. So no, and I see someone here just mentioned on my other platform, social media can become very addictive, and I don't believe it's good for mental health if you are not in a good space. And what do you say about that, Dion?
I think, we all know we're living in the era where you can now comment without taking accountability for what you say. So on social media, it's the faceless platform. It's the reciprocal platform. It's a non-responsive, it's a non-accountable platform. So there's a huge amount of people that I believe voice a lot of their internal anger, disappointment in life, in their own journeys on social media. The problem is when we go on and we read that and we watch it, we are making our hearts a dustbin for their emotions. And that's where the problem comes in, because whatever you take in, if you like it or not, if you see someone else's anger, someone else's negative remarks, it is playing through your mind, even if it's just a split second, which means you are experiencing it, which means it affects you, because our mind and our body is one cybernetic system. And I think we need to, a lot of people say, take care of your health. Well, take care of your brain so it doesn't become a gutter for other people's social media nonsense.
Yes.
Because that way you can protect, to a certain extent, your health. If you allow everything in, your health will deteriorate, it will affect you.
Definitely.
So,
yeah. And it just shows you. So what I've been planning now is I'm training someone that's going to take over my social media for me. I want to delete the social media apps from my phone and just to do the live streams and send the content to someone to do it. Because I think people don't realize this. If you really go put and look at your time, your phone really gathers your time spent on your apps. And I know Dion is not a lot on his social media. But there's a lot of you. If you really go think about it, go see how many hours do you scroll on TikTok.
Well, my phone records. My phone records my phone time,
yes.
So I monitor it.
Yeah,
so
and
I spend, and I've watched it. I spend an hour and a half on my on my phone every week. That's on average a week. So I limit it. Tonight, my number is going to go through the roof. We're on social media right now. But I also do live streaming, so that doesn't count because that I do through the computer.
Yes.
But my scrolling on social media, 1.5 hours a week, and I think that's a healthy number because I use it for business as well. We have to kind of use it for business.
We have to use it for business. Look, you're going to be on other apps as well. I think that's your social media. But have you counted for WhatsApp, Dion? I think you have the most WhatsApp groups I've made in my life. I can't even keep up.
I probably have 200 groups just for my own business.
I think it's more than that. I think it's more than that.
They're not all active. There's a lot of them that's kind of that's called in resting mode. But I spend a lot of time on WhatsApp. But I've got WhatsApp on my computer, so I'll sit in my office working. I see WhatsApp to a certain extent like other people see emails. I'm useless on emails.
Yeah.
I think I've got 15,000 unread emails in my inbox. And I'm trying to get that to a proper number. A nice 100,000 would be a beautiful round number. But WhatsApp, for some reason, I'm very disciplined. I respond, I react, and I've got different numbers, so it's not just one account.
Yeah. Okay, so yeah, you have different numbers that operate. But I think, again, you speak about, I think the world is transitioning. I still see businesses really operating on emails, but like you said, you hardly even check your emails. So I wonder how many people out there realizes that we need change. Marketing emails. Just today I've got 20 calls from spam callers. Then if I check my emails, it's listed with all people that some way got my email address. Then it's social media with the different ads. So I think we need the world is calling more for authenticity. Some people to be really authentic and real, but also a different way of marketing and getting in front of them. I think what you are doing, Dion, is really something different. The only thing that's for me, it's nice to know you, is that like a Robin Banks, you are authentic and real. Like Robin, I know 10 years. For you, probably 5-6 years. And you're still the same person in a good way. If I talk about morals and values, a person of your word. There's now just a few people that I burnt my fingers with that aren't that authentic and real. They sell the good script, but they all about the money and they're all about fame and fortune. And if they can step on you, they step on you. And unfortunately, most of their followers don't see it yet.
You know what? I've been in this industry And I hear you. I mean, you know, a lot of people in my circle, you know, that, I mean, some of the guys in my circle also kind of really just stabbed me in the back a little bit quite recently. But I've been in this industry now, what's it, 17 years, since 2008. And I've seen them come and go. We in the personal development industry. And I've seen the fakes come, but I've seen them go. The one thing I love about this industry, and I mean, you're one of the examples. How long have you been in this industry?
10 years.
Yeah, I've been running 17 years. Oh. And it's impossible to keep sustainable momentum in this industry if you are not in it for the right reason. And the right reason is a very, very simple cardinal rule. We're in it because we want to make people better and make the world a better place. Yeah, that's the goal. All the other benefits are side benefits. That's not the driving force behind it. And from all the people, and I've seen a lot of trainers, I've seen a lot of great coaches, I've seen a lot of speakers, you name them, international platforms. I've seen them come and go. And the authentic guys, we're the ones that make it. We're the ones that stay. We're the ones that can survive through the storms, because our foundation is different. We've got a solid foundation. Yes. And you like that. You've got you've been through storms. And since I've known you, you've been through storms. Yeah, I think your foundation is good.
I think it's that foundation thing. It's that to realize that anything built fast, it's also not good because it cannot stand the test of time. And it's also about building slow and making sure that the fruit you carry is good fruit, even though now and then there's going to be a bad apple that you have to get rid of. Yeah. But it's be consistent in who you are and what you do. And I think that's the most important thing, is really deliver what you promise you're going to deliver. And I think over deliver. So I just want to shout out to everyone that is joining. Thank you for being on tonight. Tonight this is the fireside chat. We have the famous Dion Groenewald here. For some reason, I'm surrounded by Dion. So Dion Groenewald, my other friend is Dion Davids, the assistant coach of the Springboks. And, like Dion Davids winning with the Boks, Dion wins at life with coaches that he trains. Dion, if you had to give me an estimate, how many coaches have you trained in the last 17 years?
Sure.
But as your gut say?
Over 3,000, I'm fairly sure of.
So
yeah, there can be over 3,000. So we're going worldwide. I did an estimation not too long ago. We've trained. I've trained coaches in gone over 130 countries. I can't even name 130 countries. Yeah. But yeah, we've been blessed.
So let's look. How many people do you think? What's the average? Let's say what ChatGPT says. What's the average amount of people one will connect with over a period of a year? Okay, I just want to see.
I think. Hold on. What do you define as connect?
Okay, so define me what would be connect. So the average is
this connect as in I meet you and I spend 2 weeks training you, and then we chat on WhatsApp, and maybe here and there you watch some of my videos.
Yeah.
You are aware of me, but I'm not necessarily aware of you. That's not connect. That's awareness.
Okay.
So what does the word connect mean? Connect means there's a relationship. You and I are connected. We speak, and we don't speak on these platforms. Sometimes I feel lonely and I say, "Hey, Cobus, how are you?" You tell me you're busy.
So if I have to change that, maybe they're not connect, interact with. So if I can say people, average person interacts with over a year, it says here it's roughly between 800 and 1,000 unique people per year that we would connect with, not connect, interact with, right?
Yeah. So, what does the AI say?
It says 800 to 1,000.
800 to 1,000.
If it's a business owner, it's 2,000 to 3,000 people a year.
Yeah.
Out of that, it is 150 will be put in around meaningful relationship, and out of that will be 15 will be about deep emotional close bonds. So if we,
I would,
yeah,
I would like to ask a different question to AI,
okay,
seeing that you're on it.
yeah.
So, how many people do you touch so deeply that it creates a positive ripple effect in the world? Because that's what we claim to be doing as a profession. We, we help people become better, and through that create a positive ripple effect in the world. So that's a more relevant question that's important to me than how many people I meet.
Creates a positive ripple effect in the world.
Yeah.
Okay.
So in other words, I have a conversation with you, it changes you to such a degree that you bring something positive to someone else. That's a ripple effect.
So there's the direct impact, like where you touch personally, is about 50 people, an average 50 people.
In what time frame?
In a 12 month.
Oh wow. Well then my brother, we're above that.
So let's say for now you've trained 3,500 coaches. Times 50, you indirectly over a period of a year impacts 175,000 people, right? And if we compound that over a period of 17 years, you've indirectly impacted 3 million people.
You know what I find fascinating about our industry?
Yeah.
Is when you've impacted lives, and you observe people, you follow them on social media, that thing we spoke about earlier that we should spend this time on, and you see how they impact lives and how those lives start impacting other lives. And one of the things, I watched someone, a female that I trained, I think about 15 years ago, and I watched a video where a group of her students went to schools and had an impact. And I made a comment on social media because while she was talking to them, I could see my manual that she still had with my logo on it, lying on the platform that she used. It was like a pulpit that she spoke from. And that was amazing for me because that was third generation impact that was happening. But here's the cool part of it, and this is what I actually weirdly enjoyed. None of those people that she was impacting indirectly, because that was third level, the students were impacting her group. So the group the students were impacting didn't know about me, and her students didn't know about me. Yeah. And I sat down and I went, that's actually quite interesting. We look for fame because we want that recognition. But the feeling I had in that moment where I knew I was indirectly impacting lives, and they didn't know anything, they had no idea who I was. Man, did that give me a sense of abundance, of just a fantastic, humble, beautiful gratitude inside of me. And yeah.
Because we never know what the impact is, Mike. If I look here, asking ChatGPT, the ripple effect of the calculation of 3,500 coaches, and the estimated total ripple effect is about 2.5 to 3 million lives a year. Now, if you think about it, says here long-term legacy. If you take an average over the last 10 years, it's possibly that 50 million lives indirectly were touched through the lineage of your training. Wow.
Yeah, my brain doesn't want to wrap itself around that number. I don't know.
So Dion, yes, someone says something, and I think that's important. And so maybe you can just, understand it. Darren talks about coaches can also harm others if not properly trained, and we've probably seen that. I've seen it multiple times. People that even if they are trained, but they're in a niche that they don't understand, and they think, they like Christians. They just got saved, and they think everyone needs coaching. And sometimes they do need a psychologist. You need to, as a coach, also realize, hey, you need a psychiatrist or a psychologist to intervene. But again, it comes on training. What would your response to be about that?
I think I mean, the one thing that I've seen are coaches that don't practice what they were trained to apply. So one of the things in coaching is we don't give advice. If we give advice, I always ask the question: if you're going to give someone advice, are you prepared to take accountability for that advice? So let's say you give someone advice and they apply whatever advice you've given them. Will you take responsibility for the outcome? And the answer generally is no. I mean, you just said we impact how many lives. I can't take accountability for all the lives.
Yes.
So when coaches forget their training and start giving advice, that's when my frustration levels go up a little bit, because then they're breaking one of the main elements of their training. That's the one part. The second part is some coaches don't know how to deal with the attention they get when they coach. They take it personal. They think they're now demigods or something fantastic, and they get egotistical, and they go off track. They lose the I almost want to call it the simplicity and the purity of the path.
Yeah.
If that makes a difference. That makes any sense.
Just to add to it, Taz asks, what's the difference between coaching and mentoring?
Very, very straightforward. So mentoring is mentioned in either some form of a trade or a professional career. So let's assume that you are a plumber and someone comes and they want to study with you. The word in the trades is called an apprentice. So I take my skill and I transfer it to that person, but I teach that person to do it the way I do it. In other words, I'm creating copies of me. Mentoring is the same concept, but in a professional arena, usually used in a corporate environment, where you've got someone that's achieved some level of success, and they take someone from a junior level in and they say, let me teach you what I've learned over the years. So I take my knowledge, I impart it to you, but with the purpose that you replicate what I do. So it's creating a mini-me, a duplicate of self. Where coaching is, you come to me for coaching, I don't create a mini-me, I extract from you your solutions, your capabilities, your gifts, your talents, and we utilize that to build a strategy plan within your capability so you can achieve what you define as success. So coaching is about extracting the individuality. Mentoring is all about creating a copy. That's a short answer.
Yeah, and she says here, reverse mentoring is also powerful, but one needs to be open to it.
I think, I'm gonna answer that question differently. If you have a desire to become at any level a better version of yourself, get a mentor and a coach, and change them every couple of years. Because here's the other part that most people don't realize. If I would mentor someone, there's a time where my mentee outgrows my mentor level. Because I can only mentor someone in a very particular area of their lives.
Yes.
And there's a point where they need to get a new mentor, get another coach. So I don't even coach people that long term either. At some stage, I've run out in what I can offer. Get a new one. Get a new upgrade. I mean, we do it with our software. We might as well do it with our mentors and our coaches.
Yeah, but 100%. I think if you coach too long, then somewhere you're never gonna. I think here's the thing: a mentor, you can outgrow and so forth. If your coach does not consistently evolve, that keeps staying one step ahead of you, then you need to change coaches, right? If you think about the Springboks, right? It's now since 2017 that Rassie is the coach, right? So he's constantly the coach. But if he stagnated, the players would have outgrown him and they would have started losing. It wouldn't have had the same impact. And if you look at his history, Rassie consistently evolves to be one better, to evolve to include more people in his team to be able to become a better coach. And I think maybe that's the other thing towards coaches is coaches needs to constantly also evolve in their skill level, in their expertise and experience to be able to still be able to coach someone. Otherwise, you're defeating the purpose.
Yeah. So a coach needs to. So for me, people ask me, what do I do for a living? And my short answer is, I help people to think differently. Now, I can do that with someone unless you spend the last in my presence, then you basically everything I can say, because I've also got a cap to where I can develop. There's a framework in which I develop. Yes. I can make small adjustments and small improvements, absolutely, but there is a level to where I'm gonna, I don't want to say hit a ceiling, but there's a concept of the law of the lid, where a team leader can only take a team to a certain level of his capability. Yes. We all have certain levels of limitations on our capability. So that's the one thing I think coaches need to be aware of. The second thing is change is one of the best forms of stimulation for the human brain. It ignites the firing of the neurons inside the brain. So very often a different coach has a different coaching conversation and stimulates neurons that's possibly half asleep or in hibernation in your brain. Yes. So that it's the same thing with environment. Change your coach, but change your mentor, but change the color of your walls in your house. Change the furniture layout, because the more we stimulate change in our lives, the more we're actually stimulating our neuron development. We stay smarter and brighter and sharper. If we don't stimulate neuron development, we literally go dumb.
Yeah, 100%. So there's actually studies that shown that, yeah.
I love that stimulation, and after all the years teaching it and doing it, what's really amazing is you eventually get addicted to that stimulation and you want to grow. And so now my question is, can a coach not get stagnant with his client because the client is at a level where the coach now needs new stimulation as well?
Hey, Dion, good question that, eh? Yeah, and I agree with you. I think it's both ways. However, in the long run, is somewhere you have to bring a new something to scale up, and it comes down to where do you want to be, what is it you want to achieve. I think that is not just ask. I think the one important thing is working with a lot of coaches. What is a qualifying question one should ask when you search for a coach? What is the most important thing? Would you say? From my side, I would say something as well, but I would love you to just say that because I don't want to keep you the whole night. What would you say? That's the first question. Dion? No, but I see. Dion is hier daar. Guys, can you hear Dion? Because I can't hear Dion. Was it just me?
No, you just froze there for a while.
Okay, I froze. I'm back. Okay.
I heard what's a qualifying question, and then you just went.
Okay.
La la la.
Okay, so two things. What is a qualifying question? One, to get a coach, and where can I learn more about neurostimulation? So if you can just answer that first question.
Okay, so there is no magic question you can ask to qualify. We'll offer you a 20 minutes session, an introductory session, get to know each other session. I see Cobus is frozen again, so I'll just continue answering the question. So any good coach will have a 20-minute introductory session. You need to find someone that you feel comfortable with, that you feel you're safe with, that you feel carries your value system and your ethics and will respect you as an individual. That to me is important, because if you're going to go into coaching with someone and there's a little voice in your head that says, I'm not 100% comfortable with this person, you're not going to get the results from the coaching process that you're looking for. So have an introductory call at minimum 20 minutes. And in that 20 minutes time, there's a few questions that's going to be asked, and you should have an answer. Is this the right coach for me or not? Straightforward as that. That's the easy way, I think.
Yeah, and
Intelligence sitting around.
Yeah,
for someone that's so busy talking in the background and asking questions, you could have joined and just, even if you're in bed, just by voice and joined in. I'm just saying.
Yeah, she doesn't have to have a camera on, by the way. She's one of your biggest fans, by the way. So, but neurostimulation, where can one learn more about neurostimulation? He says he would love to know that.
So that's actually very simple. You don't have to go read anything. I can tell you in 2 minutes. So neurostimulation. So you have to just understand the basics of how your brain is constructed. So you got neurons in your brain, and neurons are nothing else but electrical wires. With the point of it requires a spark for it to be alive, and anything that it finds interesting sparks it. But the best form of a spark is change. New environment, new types of conversation, read a different type of book, listen to different types of music, enter into conversations with people you've never entered into, adopt an attitude of curiosity and fascination in your life. Change your environment. So practical tip for parents with children, if your child is at school, a lot of parents would do a room layout, desk at one wall, and the whole school career, the child sits at the same desk at the house doing their homework. Change the wall, change the room around, move them to different rooms, move the desk to another wall. The more stimulation changes you've got in your environment, the more your neurons need to fire, because it's forcing you to adapt. So ask the question, what's going to force me to change the way I think, respond, react, and behave? That's going to stimulate your neurons.
Yeah.
Simple things you can do. Once a month, have a day in your household where everybody has to walk backwards.
I like that.
By the way, the wear shin protection, you're going to hit your shins against furniture you didn't realize was there. Walk backwards, or wear a weird hat the wrong way around.
Or brush your teeth with the wrong hand.
Sorry?
Or brush your teeth with the wrong hand.
Brush your teeth, yeah. We know that thing. Brush your teeth with the wrong hand. Comb your hair with another hand. Or comb your hair. I was going to say comb your hair in a different direction, Cobus, but I'm not sure if you can comb yours down. Change your hairstyle so it looks like a hammer and not an axe. And there's a variety of things you can do. Anything that stimulates you, puts you outside of your comfort zone.
Yeah. Derek says,
eat dessert first and then the main meal.
I like that. Dessert, then main meal, and then the beginning course. Derek Matthews says, I agree. Change has been the catalyst to move me out of a depression toward a state of flow. So that shows you that small change can make a difference.
Yeah, but I mean, eating, change the hands you use for your knife and your fork. Swap it around. Anything that's going to bring that kind of a stimulation. We know the old saying, it says a change is as good as a holiday. And a lot of people don't understand. They think change brings only relaxation, which it does, oddly enough. But the reason it's so good is if you constantly create change in your world, you are stimulating your neurons. And here's the cool part. It does make you smarter, and it does make you more creative. And it makes you more adaptable. So the new conversation about emotional intelligence, for example, is about the ability to be flexible in your own awareness about your emotions and the control around that.
Yes.
So any kind of a change or areas where you need to adapt brings that in. So why not? And it's fun. It's fun. It's like your hair. You've changed it since fucking to the last.
I've grown this on the side. I used to cut this all off and then just that part and sometimes up here. But hey, I'm still finding it. My beard just sometimes I cut it down to short. So I
So
did.
here's something you can do, Cobus.
Yeah.
I mean, you can go completely blonde for a change.
Yo, no. Do you know what I did to do to
Let's see what the comments here if they would agree.
the
I
blonde and
think
beautiful?
I think
That's
you've got
what.
a bottle blonde Cobus Visser. That'll be. I mean, the Vikings were a lot of them were blonde, so why not?
That's a myth, eh? They weren't really that blonde. But so someone dated me a few years ago, about 3 years ago, 2021, if I'm correct, to cut off all my beard. So I actually cut off my beard, and it was a shock. I didn't recognize the person in the mirror. I really, it was too scary. And I see Taz says he dares me to do it. No, no, not blonde, eh? I might go gray. I will maybe go gray.
No, the grey will blend beautifully with blonde. I think that's a brilliant idea. It's everybody that sees you is now going to look twice, maybe even 3 times. So it's gonna improve your social media awareness. It's gonna enhance your image. Everything.
Dare to go blonde. Ish. Yeah, I need to sleep over that one. Like Dion says, you first sleep over it and then you make an informed decision.
You've got to appreciate the beard has got to go the same color, right?
Oh, is that also have to go blonde? Yo,
Oh,
okay.
absolutely.
Snow White,
Absolutely.
Snow White. I,
It'll
I,
be very sophisticated and suave.
I want to see if I can get a AI to just do it the change for me first to see how it looks before I do it. I but definitely, hi Kevin, nice to see you here as well, Kevin Brits. Okay, Dion, just it's 9 o'clock. I don't know if there's any last message you would love to say to the world there. Give them your words of wisdom so that we can say good night. So I'm going to leave you first to say your words of wisdom, and then I'm going to close this evening. Thank you from my side for being on here, Dion.
I've got a simple thing that I want to say to the world, and that is keep changing every single day, even if it's 0.01%. Every single day is an opportunity to be a little bit better than the version of you from yesterday. And if you keep changing little bits every day, man, your outcomes are going to be amazing a couple of years from now.
Yes.
So thanks for having me, Cobus.
Thanks
Good night
for
to everybody else.
Thanks for joining on the invite, guys. As you've seen, the fire is burned, the truth has been spoken, and the sparks now live within you. Carry this flame further so that more warriors may rise. Until we meet again, remember to stand tall and live and do whatever it takes. This is Cobus Visser the Viking, and this was whatever it takes. Now the fire is in your hands. Go ignite others. Remember to follow, like, and share so that the tribe can grow stronger. Until the next battle, stay unbreakable. Have a beautiful evening, everyone. Derek, Chris, Taz, everyone that has joined, I send my love to you. Have a beautiful night. Thanks again, Dion. Blessings to you, brother.